Hey, Cancer, welcome in. This is going to be a reading for my Cancer Collective, and this is connecting the dots for the new moon solar eclipse in Aries coming up here on March 29th. And so we're kind of at a very pivotal moment in the collective this year. And so this eclipse is more than just a fresh start, right? We're kind of at this major karmic checkpoint, and we're closing out all of the themes that have been tied to the Aries North Node, the Libra South Node. And so maybe you need to ask yourself, where do you need to embrace self-leadership? I do feel there's a strong message coming through about authenticity, and we do have to release the shadow side of Libra, which really is people-pleasing energy, right? It can be a very codependent energy in its shadowy traits, and it does seek external validation. And so on the same day as the eclipse, Cancer, we do have Mercury retrograde leaving Aries, and it's going to re-enter into Pisces, and then it is going to immediately conjunct Neptune at that final degree, that anaretic degree, 29 degree. And so right now we're dissolving all kinds of illusions, and there could be a lot of blurred boundaries between the past and the future, right? And so where do you need to take a moment, take a step back, and gain that clarity? So let's see what these energies are at play for you during this eclipse. And so you got a separation here. You have got a big time separation here. So let me put these cards down and let's have a deeper look. The soulmate card come out on top. And so there's going to be a separation before you can walk into a brand new life here, Cancer, okay? And on the bottom of the deck, I just want to say you've got a leg up here. So I don't know if things have gone a little bit cold in a soulmate connection, but the soulmate card in reversed is no different than the Lover's card in reverse. And so maybe you were going through a separation, Cancer, with somebody that you thought, hey, this was going to be my life partner. This is somebody that I was going to spend my life with, but I think Spirit has other plans for you. I do feel there could be a lot of spiritual downloads. I do feel spiritual downloads with this leg up card. And so I do think there's been blurred boundaries in some type of soulmate connection. And I do feel there's almost like an Ace of Cups and reversed energy coming through. And this new life, I think, is about to be birthed, but it's almost like this energy of like, hey, Cancer, you're waking up from some type of slumber. I don't know if you've been sleeping on your potential, but I just feel something here is about to get cracked wide open. There really is no pretty way to put this. It does really feel like a period of separation. I don't know if there's emotional distance in a connection here, but I do think love has been blocked. I do feel there's a situation here, Cancer, where the two of you are just no longer in alignment. I don't know if there's unresolved issues from the past or an unresolved emotional wound from the past here or past patterns here that really has prevented you from fully connecting to somebody that at one point in time I do think you thought was your soulmate. But I think there's a very challenging relationship dynamic here, and it might feel as though your emotional well-being is probably being tested. And so I just feel like a connection here that's going to bring you to your knees. That's really what I feel. Something here is going to just bring it to your knees, drop it to your knees. And these energies are bringing you forward to a brand new life. So ultimately, this ending, there's an ending, I do feel, during this eclipse portal that is basically opening up the doorway to a whole new life, a brand new chapter, a brand new timeline. But there's heartache here, there's pain, and you kind of have to endure that as part of this processing, right? And so I don't know if there's an old pattern here that you're kind of shedding, or if maybe there's a separation here that is necessary in order for you to release something old connected to an unhealthy pattern that is just no longer serving you. I don't know. I just feel like a pattern keeps repeating from past relationships, or just a past version of yourself here. And so I do feel there's turmoil here. I can't deny that feeling. And I do think you are invited to embrace a fresh start, not just in love, but in life as a whole. And so I think you've been stuck in a cycle. I think you've been stuck in a cycle repeating the same emotional mistakes over and over and over again, the same pattern over and over and over again that has really kept you from experiencing true love and fulfillment. And so I do feel there's a very difficult separation here. And I think there's difficult emotions accompanying this separation. I really do. But this is clearing space for a whole new reality, right? A whole new energy where you're not going to be weighed down by these past relationship limiting beliefs. And so in this new chapter, I think you're kind of being called to step into maybe a deeper understanding of yourself and what you truly need in a relationship. And maybe this next chapter is just you spending some time all by yourself here. There's going to be a challenge, I think, that you're going to have to face here. And I do think this is part of your soul's evolution. I really do think this is part of something bigger here. Let me grab another stand here, Cancer, for the tarot cards. But I just feel right now there's a pattern here that you need to break free from that has really held you back from maybe mastering a lesson, completing a lesson here. So let's see what this process is all about. You don't have to be defined by this separation or this heartbreak, but look, we got a couple peekers and we're going to take them. We get the Eight of Wands reversed. We get the King of Cups in reverse. So there you are, Cancer. There's that King of Cups in reversed energy. And we'll take this last one out and we get the Five of Wands. And so I think you've really struggled here. I do think there is a deep, deep struggle here. And we're going to take this peeker, King of Pentacles in reversed. Oh man, I just feel you've really struggled, I think, with this energy of withdrawal. So we get the Eight of Wands in reverse, the King of Cups in reverse, the Five of Wands in reversed, and the King of Pentacles in reverse. And so there's a struggle. There's a battle here. There's maybe a lot of people putting their 2 cents into a connection here, but I just feel like you've already withdrawn. This masculine energy is withdrawn emotionally. They're not investing anymore. I do think maybe this is all about materialism. It can be all about the financial security, and that's where the struggle is coming in. It's almost like there's a huge block in communication here, and this kind of does need to reach some type of resolve. It really feels like there's a conflict here. There's definitely emotional imbalance here. And there's a power struggle, I think, not only within yourself, but with somebody else here. And so you could be this King of Cups, King of Pentacles in reversed. I do feel this is one energy, or you could be dealing with somebody embodying these energies. Swap around the characters, swap around the energies, but I do feel like I'm talking to you, Cancer. And so I think there's going to be a conflict here, and it could be potentially with several other people that have kind of put their nose into your business here. But I do think there could be delays to this ending. I do feel a very strong energy of stagnation, almost like a halt. It's like something is coming to a dead stop, a dead halt. And I do think there's emotional confusion. I really do. There's avoidance. There's emotional avoidance of addressing a deeper issue within a relationship. It's like you're just not talking to one another. There's like complete and total avoidance of the issue at hand, and nothing is progressing, right? There's nothing moving forward. There's a lack of communication, and I do think there's frustration. I do think maybe things in this relationship move forward really, really quickly at a certain point in time. And I just feel there's a masculine energy here that is suppressing emotions. I can't deny that. Or has mishandled a situation due to suppressed emotions. Maybe this is due to a past separation that was never dealt with. Maybe somebody went through a separation, walked into a new life, went into it quickly, and they urge. Everything is kind of stopping right now. I think there's emotional manipulation. There could be an emotional outburst here around the time of the eclipse. There's a deep sense, I want to say, of emotional neglect. Definitely. I don't even know if there's like even competition in a relationship here. There very well could be competition here. And you should never be in competition with your partner, right? And I do think this sense of competition is due to some type of inner tension or inner conflict connected to some unresolved relationship patterns from the past. I do feel there's somebody here completely disconnected in this connection, perhaps even only focusing on the physical or the material world while going through some type of internal emotional chaos, or swap it around. But there is somebody here that really lacks the emotional maturity to deal with conflict and to cut through confusion and manipulation. I think there's going to be some petty squabbles. I do feel that. I just feel there's a need to kind of speak up. Let's take a look at the bottom of the deck. Look at that. King of Swords. Yeah, there's a need to speak up. Spirit is saying, hey, you got to speak up. You got to find your voice in a situation. So we get the King of Swords. We get the Two of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and we get the Knight of Pentacles. And so Cancer, this is pretty loud. There's a big decision here. I do think you got to cut through manipulation. I just heard like Spirit is saying, be the voice of reason here. Be the voice of reason. This is about making a choice from a place of truth. You, I think, are being called to step into truth. You've got to communicate your truth. That's the only way this emotional turmoil is going to lift. I do think there is manipulation here. You need to rise above if you are the one manipulating. We got 3 kings on the board. And so what's the king missing? The king of wands. We get this 2 of wands. And so this is saying, hey, you are at a pivotal turning point. A decision is going to have to be made. I think you do have a desire to move forward. I really do. But I think there's just been setback after setback after setback. And I think there's struggles here. And I think you've avoided making a decision about the future, even though it feels like you want to move forward here. That's really what I'm feeling here. And this Knight of Pentacles is saying, yeah, things have been slow to trot. Things have been slow moving. I don't know if you're afraid of losing money too. If you go in a new direction here, I think there's been a very slow, daunting, burdensome journey here. And I do think there could be delays due to having to deal with some chaotic energies here. But you're being put on a new path, is what I feel. You're being put on a new path that will lead you to solid grounds, even if it means kind of losing some money here. That's kind of what I feel. And so I just feel there's going to be an opportunity to make a decision. I think you are being called to shift from chaos into clarity and to see the larger picture here of what is like undergoing here below the surface. I just feel you've got to re-examine your patterns. You've got to make a choice that will allow you to step into a new cycle, a new life here, Cancer, because you are moving into a new life. You are moving in to a new cycle. And so it's kind of time to break free from these old relationship patterns. It's time to step into the new. You got to get grounded too. I feel that Knight of Pentacles energy is saying, hey, yoo-hoo, Cancer, you got to get grounded. You got to become emotionally mature and get grounded in reality. So let's see if we can get an advice card for you, Cancer, with the Spiritual Journey Oracle cards. What's the advice card for Cancer here? Okay, self-development. Self-development come out sideways and landed on that Knight of Pentacles. You got to recognize where you've been neglecting yourself, or maybe where you've been neglecting somebody in a relationship. I think something here is coming to a stop. We got this soul connection card come out. We got spend time in nature. And so right now you are being asked to make a choice where you are going to begin to live consciously. So you are connected to somebody here that I feel really has played a significant role as part of your soul's evolution. But I don't think this was meant to be a long-term contract. I do think it's been short-term. I don't even know if it's been like 5 years. 5 years is pretty short-term in the big scheme of things, right? But this has been an important person on your journey. But you need to retreat. You need to get grounded. You need to connect with the earth, and you got to recognize that you are walking the path of self-development, and there's something here that is just no longer growing. There's no more evolution in this connection, and I do think it's requiring you to go through a separation. So I think we're going to close this off, and I'm just going to say there are massive energies here of emotional turbulence. I just feel you are in a moment of major transformation. You're going to have to get grounded. You got to reconnect with the earth. You got to get back to basics, whether this is through walks, meditation, or simply just being present, pulling everything back into the present moment, right? You got to get grounded here. And so we got to remember a lot of people come into our lives, and it's not going to be for the long haul, right, Cancer? But their presence is always going to have value in our lives. A lot of people come onto our paths to awaken a part of ourselves that maybe just was previously dormant. They challenge us to look within. They challenge us to face our fears, and they do challenge us to break free from some past patterns here. And so there is a connection here, I think, a difficult connection here that is key to your personal evolution, to your personal path of self-development, showing you who you are, maybe who you were, and who you're meant to become, and who you're not meant to be anymore. I think that's a pretty strong message. And so ultimately, this is a process of self-development. This eclipse is asking you to work through the pain, work through the confusion, trust that setbacks are just opportunities for growth. Every challenge we face is a chance to maybe peel back another layer, like an onion, to discover more about who we truly are, what we truly want. When we figure out what we don't want, then we can say, hey, this is what I don't want, and then align ourselves to what it is that we do want. And so as you step into this new life, because we're going to get back to that, let's talk about the positive. As you step into this new life, look at that, the bottom of the deck. Remember, living consciously is not avoiding difficulties. It is about embracing them with awareness, like, hey, this is happening for me. This allows you to transform and step into authenticity, right? So all relationships we have in our lives, they're kind of like these energies of stepping stones. And we got to trust each step that we take is leading us towards a more empowered version of ourselves. And I'm sorry for the little background noise, but my little peanut here is playing some Barbies. And so, Cancer, I think it's time to just get ready to face the future. I hope this reading resonated. Let me know down in the comments below if this message is for you.